that. The BCM Gunfighter Mod Zero stock system for your M4 or M4 style AR-15s. BCM, or Bravo Company Manufacturing, has really made a name for itself in the AR world. There are so many different companies out there making AR-15s, but there are certain companies out there that you can always rely on for consistency and using some of the best parts. And that's one of the things about BCM. I just recently did a review on their Gunfighter charging handle, which to me is one of the best, if not the best, charging handle on the market. And they put out a lot of different configurations, and I'll have the video linked. This one has a Mod 4 charging handle on it. BCM really does a great job in fighting guns. Guns for self-defense, guns, go-to-war guns. And that's pretty evident considering that Travis Haley and Larry Vickers are big fans of BCM. And this is a carbine collapsible stock from BCM. It's a fairly new stock offering. And with the Mod Zero, that just means that they're going to be making upgrades and future stock systems. One of the things about the Mod Zero and what BCM was really trying to accomplish with these stocks, and obviously there's a lot of different stocks already out on the market, Magpul being one of the strongest, is they wanted to make the strongest, most lightweight polymer stock on the market. So I thought I'd show you exactly what I like the most out of the Mod Zero stock system. Obviously it will adjust. It's a very smooth adjustment. It's a little bit firm, but one of the things about this stock is once it's locked into place, it is solid. I mean, there is very little movement on this stock system. Most of your collapsible stocks for your M4 rifles have a lot of movement, but the BCM Mod Zero is really tight. If you're going to find a really super strong stock system, let's say like the UBR from Magpul, which is one of my favorite collapsible stock systems because it is so tight. It's like shooting from a fixed stock. But the weight, you know, they're pretty weighty. And then you've got the price, which a UBR will run you about $250. I love the UBR, and I have one on one of my rifles. It's one of my go-to rifles. But it is expensive. The Mod Zero comes in, MSRP is about $60. On the BCM website, or the Bravo Company website, these are running $55.95. So right away, you're going to get a really strong stock system that's really lightweight. It's 7.7 ounces. You know, you can figure that out whatever your preference is. Now, at this point, the Mod Zero is only made for a mil-spec buffer tube. So if you have a commercial buffer tube, you're not going to be able to put the Mod Zero on it. So now I kind of hit all the great things about this stock up front, but I'm going to show you some of the reasons why it is one of the strongest stocks and a lot of the great features. It is a very plain stock. In fact, it's really smooth, and that's by design. It's made to be snag-free. They want it to be really clean, and they did that. It does increase your cheek weld. It gives you a little more here instead of the standard M4 stock. Now here we have an M4 style stock and then the Mod Zero side by side. And here we have the Mod Zero coming in. Here you can see immediately there's a gap. That's the difference in the stock width. And this is just, again, going to give you a little more cheek weld to make it more comfortable when you're at the range. Also, obviously, you've got a lot hanging out and hanging down that can get caught. This is the traditional closure, and then of course you have your loop here. I've lined up 3 Magpul stocks for comparison to the BCM. And the BCM obviously is right here on the right. And first thing you'll notice is that it is a shorter length than your other stocks. This does obviously adjust on the extension receiver tube, but it is a little shorter collapsed fully in. Here we have the Mo, or this is actually the CTR with the locking feature. Same width as the standard Mo, and then we have the STR, and this is also the same width as the ACS, which has the battery compartments on either side of the storage compartments. This really does give you a lot more cheek weld. And then we have the UBR, which is more or less a fixed stock with an adjustable hinge on the bottom. Now the width differences are really what we're looking at. And with the Mod Zero, it's 1 5/8 inch. With the standard Mo, it's 1.5 inch. So we have about a 1/4 of an inch difference in width here for your cheek weld. with the STR or the ACS, this is actually 2.5 inches in width. So you're going to get a considerable amount of cheek weld, but it's going to be a lot wider. It's about 3/4 inches larger than the BCM. And then with the UBR, the width on it is 1 3/4 inches. But the big thing is the weight. 7.7 ounces on the BCM, 10 ounces on the Mo CTR, 13 ounces on the STR, and then on the UBR 22 ounces. So it's lightweight, it's lighter than the rest of these, and it's really strong, very stable. With the locking system, you're getting more stability than you were before with just your standard Mo, but it's still not quite up to the BCM. With the UBR, you're getting a stronger, more stable platform for sure. In fact, it's by far the strongest. But the price and the weight, that kind of makes things a lot different when you're comparing it to the BCM. With the Mod Zero, you have quick detach mounts here, and then on the other side, these are reinforced with steel inserts. You can slip your QD sling system in, and it locks in really nice. And then it has a system here to be able to lock this in. This is an anti-rotation feature. And you can see it's actually the shape. So it's going to lock this down. You still have plenty of movement. You're going to be able to move the sling like you need to, but it's going to keep it from spinning and binding. Then it's real easy to remove, and of course, goes in on the other side. And then underneath we have your traditional sling setup. It has a slot here to be able to attach a sling system. That way you can attach your standard sling system to the Mod Zero. Of course, however you like to attach your sling system. Now right here at the rear is a little ledge built into the stock system. This is the VBOST. It's a Vehicle-Borne Operations Sling Tab. And this is mainly used for military or law enforcement units that are riding in a vehicle. This little tab will help retain through a bungee or through rubber bands or rigging bands to hold your stock in place. And tied down with a rigger's band, it's going to keep your sling system from getting in the way and inadvertently hitting your release of your stock adjustment. No, this is not a real rigger's band. Now the stock adjustment lever is really large. You're able to really get a full grip on it to move your stock. There is a small pad here that's been textured and stippled right in the right area. Also right here at the rear, there are serrated lines when you grab hold of the stock to pull it to the rear position. Has a really nice rubber butt pad with the star for the BCM logo. And here's the BCM logo with the star, made in the USA. Very smooth but not slick finish on the stock. The lines are really clean, and that's to keep it really sleek. It's not going to catch on things like a lot of your other stock systems can. Now BCM wanted to design this to be very simple. And there are only 5 components plus the bolt that go into this. And one of the reasons why that it will disassemble is for future adaptations, things that they're getting ready to produce or other options. And we're going to disassemble it just for you to see. And so this little hole that's in the back of your rubber butt pad, you can take an Allen wrench. This is a number 3. Just fits down, and then right inside, and you can see it right through the QD hole. Just go ahead and loosen that up. Now what I do is not loosen it all the way, and I'm going to show you why. If you do, you can still fix it. The VBOST has already fallen out, and this is optional. You can leave this in if you want. You can take it off if you're not planning to use it. It comes loose. Now this screw is still threaded into the back half of the Mod Zero, and if you go ahead and take this all the way out, you've got to kind of fish it around in here. It's not a big deal. I did it a couple of times, but this is just a little tip to keep it in place, and that way you don't have to do that. You can take your Allen wrench, put it here, and just pop out the section right here. Now BCM is using this patent-pended latch to fit inside this little spring area. And what it does, it squares it off, and this keeps debris and other things from getting up in there. So it fits squarely into this area. And again, see how tight it fits? It's going to keep all that debris and dust, anything that might lock this stock out. But this also will allow very precision and close fit. And this is the spring system that it rides on. It is polymer, which is kind of unusual, but it really cushions it. It makes it really nice and good and tight. More than just a standard spring, push spring. On a standard M4 stock, this is your adjustment lever. And it pulls down this pin as you pull down. And that's what moves along this rail. Here we see the standard pin. It goes into the hole, and then when you lift up, you move it and it goes into another hole. You'll notice this really light spring, but one of the things that I noticed is when I disassembled this from the stock, it was actually bent. That this bent into an angle, and that could definitely break. Now here with the BCM lockup, you can see that it actually goes over the rail system, down, and then of course with the stock system placed in, this is one of the reasons why this is going to give you a lot more strength with this system. Of course, this is also going to help if you happen to drop your rifle or if you're mortaring it for malfunction drills. You know, there are times where you need to take the rear of your stock and bang it on a table with your charging handle to loosen a round that's jammed into the chamber. And so this is going to give you added strength to do that as well. Okay, definitely an upgrade. Reassembly's a little tricky on camera, but we're going to go ahead and try it. Slip it into here, making sure that you get that latch in the right spot. Snap it in two, and you've got your lever assembly put together. If you want to add the VBOST, you can go ahead and put it in as you assemble your stock system. Fit this top ledge, bring your Allen wrench, and just go ahead and screw that in. Good and snug. Now to attach the stock, you're going to want to depress your latch, and you'll notice right here that it comes up to a circle. And this is designed to use a standard firing pin. Slide right in. This captivates the lock system. Once you have it captivated, then you can slip it right over your extension receiver tube and then bring the firing pin down, and then you can slide it right into place. Tighten it up and then pull your firing pin right out. Now you can move this and adjust it wherever you want to. Then to remove the stock, just lift it up again, place your firing pin through the hole, bring it back, then bring your firing pin down, and then it'll slide right off. The lever covers 2/3 of the stock, so you're really able to get a hold of it in about any position. Of course, you want to get back to that little area that's stippled, and you can feel it, so it's very tactile. Grab hold, bring it back. Even with gloved hands, this is going to be really easy to get hold of. Really gross motor skills, and that's what you need in a tough situation. So the BCM Mod Zero stock system, excellent, sleek, very strong, super lightweight. They are going to be offering the stock in black, as you see here, or the FDE, the foliage green, or wolf gray. Of course, coming up is the full review on the Reese carbine from BCM. This is going to be a lot of fun. Excellent rifle system, and of course it is sporting the Mod Zero Gunfighter BCM stock. Now BCM is making great accessories and upgrades for the real Gunfighter. For the guys in the Special Forces units, for military, SWAT, police, and citizens who really want to have the best of the best. When you buy BCM, you know you're going to get good quality. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. And tied down like this, it's going to keep, and tied down, it's going to keep your, and tied down like this, it's going to keep your sling system tied away. And tied down like this, it's going to shore away your sling system. Hold on. This is the adjustment lever for your standard M. This is your, if you want to add the V-Boast, Now if you want to add the V-Boast, now if you want to add the VB. In fact, it is a BMC Reese carbine.